A triple kill, but Soda Finn, he'll deny the plant. He sees 2 more kills. Oh my god! Soda Finn will find more!
7 seconds left, they gotta pick up the diffuser, but Tommy lines up both! Tommy with the 1v3!
Device, misses shots, he's gonna have to go for the
Oh,
he pushes
Dylan!
on through! Dylan is better!
Round 2, and there's another as Tyrant is finished off, and they all line up for Bone!
Welcome back, everybody. Just coming back from our break. If you missed it, it was a hell of a barn burner between Project Neo and Synthetic. 10-8, 11-9, both maps going to OT and in Project Neo's favor. So they'll be able to get the 2-0. They will vault over Synthetic, and they'll be able to actually take that playoff spot. And I mean, what a hell of a game it was. I mean, X24 dropping 22 on map number 1.
I can't even count that high.
I know. And I mean, Carter, do you have anything else to say about the game?
No, I mean, such a treat of an interview afterwards as well. Kind of weird that JJ dropped his pants halfway through, but hey, you know what? Artistic choices sometimes. But either way, that's all from us. Have a good night, everybody. See you next week for playoffs.
Trying to walk on through. The M762 is gonna find 3 kills, pistol in hand. It's gonna be a quad in the round for emergence.
He'll take down Twist. He'll take down Defiance as well. He's going for a third and he'll get it.
Triple kill to answer, and then Limbo and John will pick up some kills, but Braxton with the 4K, he's on for the
Heal on Iski! What a flick! But he gets Tyrant! And the Jaeger looks the wrong way!
April Fools!
Hey, the joke.
You
Actually,
freaking idiots!
we got
The game
ya.
didn't happen yet.
Or did it?
I bet maybe we got some of you. I don't know. It was a dumb bit, but it was
funny for
fun.
Harrison and 9. That's what matters.
Yeah, we came up with the bit literally like
It was
approximately
like a minute 50
yeah,
left.
something
and we were
like that.
What if we did this?
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Because it's April Fools. Woo! But in all seriousness, we have not played the game yet, and this is a very important one. Between Project Neo and Synthetic, they are neck and neck right now. Neck and neck in the standings. And as Ferme pulls it up, you can see that Project Neo right now in 5th, Synthetic right now in 4th. Only the top 4 in each group actually go to the playoffs, and Synthetic right now have that 1-point lead. So unless Project Neo are able... Okay, how do I phrase this? The worst that Project Neo can do is win one map in regulation and lose the other in OT. That is the absolute worst.
Oh, wait, now I'm trying to do
Or win both in OT. Never mind. If they win both in OT or lose one in or win one in regulation and lose in OT, that's the worst they can do.
I need like a whiteboard for this right now.
If they
Hold on.
lose both maps,
I gotta draw this out.
If Project Neo lose both maps or lose one map in regulation, they cannot qualify for playoffs. That's what we're getting at.
I think I follow now.
Yeah,
I think I got
they
that.
cannot lose
I
a
didn't
map
carry the
in
one.
regulation.
Hold on. I gotta redo it.
As soon as Neo lose one of these 2 maps before reaching OT, then they're out. They are out.
I didn't take the square root. That's on me for figuring that one out. But yeah, they will
You know
be
what?
out, and I think either of these teams...
Did you take the log?
I didn't take the log. That's what it was.
You
All right.
fool.
I'll redo that later. But
Now
honestly, missing either of these teams would be uncharacteristic. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of really good teams in this league. You know, Aggro, Honor, PDHM. Aggro especially has had kind of a... I think a lot of us expected them to be strong just with how they looked in the quals, but they've certainly looked much stronger than a lot of us anticipated. But not having players, you know, like Poison, who's been around the T3 scene for a while, a lot of leagues. Same with JJ on Project Neo, also a big name when it comes with that org that's been around for a long time. Not having either of them in playoffs would be extremely odd. But then again, we've also seen Down to Earth not make playoffs, and that's another team who has been around the T3 scene. You know, Exile, Kojin, Yusuke. They've already fallen. They're not making it to playoffs. So now we're going to see one of these 2 teams not make it, and it's going to be kind of odd, especially with the 2 pickups on the side of Synthetic. If you don't remember, Mohesi and Freak both on there. Not exactly, you know, they haven't been on the Synthetic roster for long, but they're still very storied names, so not seeing them in playoffs would be kind of odd.
Also, quick side note. Freak's Twitter is not, in fact, at Chris Wings. Acts is also not at R6Adapt.
That's another April Fool's joke, though.
Yeah.
Both of those
So
are
it'd be
April
like,
Fool's jokes.
hey, I'm going to go follow. Oh, wait. Acts is fixed. You'd be like, hey, I'm going to go follow Freak. And then, bam, you're actually following Wings. Haha.
That's funny. Why would you
April
do
Fools.
that willingly? That would be stupid.
Wow, that's so mean. I like Wings. But,
April Fools.
like you said, not only do we have Mohess and Freak in for Synthetic after the departure of Unfair and Wings, also got kind of a weird shakeup on Project Neo. We got JJ, we got Spiker. If you remember last week, Oni was playing, and we had Indy and Acts subbing in. However, this week, because Oni cannot play, that means X24, who has previously departed the roster, has to come back for this game, while Acts and Indy are still filling in. As you can see by the ratings, X24 and Acts, both of the entries, now at a 1.15. Quite the high rating for both of those players. Indy, not far behind at all at a 1.08. Meanwhile, on Synthetic, you've got Rice and Na being the leaders on the team, and they have been doing tremendously all season as well.
Yeah, if you don't remember, Rice, especially back on the old Lycus Empire Toyota Camry roster, he was one of the best players there. So it's nice to see that on this new team in SCS, he's been able to carry through on that good performance, on that sledge, on that mute. You see those operators right there. But as a whole, Synthetic has kind of fallen away in some of the ratings. You know, Freak, when he was on Ape, a lot of hype around his fragging ability and his ability to get kills, but he's kind of fallen off, especially here for being on that entry role. Him and Mohess both on that entry. Not putting up the best stats, not putting up the best cost either. So unfortunate for you to see, at least Project Neo beating them in that ratings department. But again, remember, Synthetic are ahead by now. It's only by 1 point, so it's not by much, and the round differential is actually worse for Synthetic. I do believe. Yeah, it's worse for Synthetic than it is for Project Neo, but they are still in the lead. So this is their game to lose, even if it's by a slim margin in that, factoring into that analysis.
I'm actually, I was looking at Twitch chat. Crafty and Maniac were both very confused by
that somehow makes sense.
By our bit.
It makes sense.
Look, we have predictions.
We do.
Right?
I said it'd be a tie.
Right down here. I think it's going to be a 2-0 Neo because X24 is back. Logan is very good at the game. And he watched the first 4 episodes of Redo of Healer last night at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we know he's charged up and raring to go for the game. You've also got Acts, the T3 superstar.
Good point.
Our good friend Tyler on Project Neo. And Synthetic so far with Freak and Mohess have looked a little bit shaky. It's still kind of falling mostly onto the shoulders of Freak and Na. And I think Neo right now have the necessary firepower to go ahead and lead them to victory. Also, Neo haven't been 7-0'd this season yet. And one of the maps we're going to... Synthetic got 7-0'd by Aggro.
Oh, I got
on Villa. And map 2 is Villa.
Was that? I just checking. For a second, I was like, wait, was that Synthetic's pick? No, it was Neo's pick.
No, yeah, it was Neo's pick. So
okay.
I could still see a tie, but I think the two most likely answers are a tie or a Neo 2-0.
Keep in mind, when I wrote that prediction, I thought Oni was going to be on the roster, but now it's X24 subbing in. So that does kind of change things a bit. Of course, as you know with Harrison and I, we stick by our predictions and we don't change, so I'll follow through on that. I still think it's going to be a tie, but I will acknowledge the fact that X24 is on the roster. He is the one playing in this game. That does swing things more strongly in the favor of Neo. I still think it's going to be a close one, though again, I also... if I'm being fully honest, I forgot about that 7-0 on Villa, so that also kind of throws a wrench in my prediction. But I'm sticking by it. I still think there's potential for Synthetic to pull through. It might just require everyone on the roster joining Rice and Na and really stepping up their game and trying to bring it to Project Neo, because, this isn't just, X24, who's already a really good player. This is X24 subbing in. He might just throw caution to the wind in certain situations and just start peeking things because he wants to, and hey, he's not on the roster anymore. What the hell does he have to lose? So that could be a scary thing as well, and either way, I do think, objectively, Harrison, you might be the one coming away with this, but I'm still holding out hope. You might get a tie.
You know what I forgot?
What?
Got
What'd you forget?
a really important note. PDHM already played.
Yes.
So as long as Neo get 2 points, they're in, no matter what, because PDHM already played. I completely forgot they did. So even if Neo do lose a map, they're still...
Wait, how does that work?
They can still come in. Because PDHM also have 11 points. And Neo is at 10. But PDHM already played their last game of the season. So if Neo just get 2 points, then PDHM get knocked down to 5th. And there's no more games.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I get what you mean now. Okay.
That's on me.
Took me a bit there, but I got it.
Didn't know PDHM played already because I don't watch Smoke Break. No. They didn't play Smoke Break.
You're just running out of excuses now. You're just running out of excuses.
You know what? I didn't watch it because it was a Wednesday and I was busy watching SSG pummel Disrupt Gaming into the freaking ground.
Hey, it
I gotta
was a
support.
7-4, okay? It was a 7-4.
I gotta support our boy Drew Spark. But yeah, Oregon Villa.
You're just an SSG fanboy. You would have been rooting even if Drew wasn't there.
Yeah. Oregon Villa. I'm still feeling the 2-0.
Yeah,
I'm still feeling it in my heart. Although if it is a 2-0 Neo without OT, then Synthetic actually get bumped down to 5th and PDHM keep their playoff spot. So that's one thing that I know in my brain is correct. And who starts on defense on Oregon? Neo starts on defense on Oregon. So they will, of course, have the first ban. You want to put money on whether or not Thatcher's first?
Am I for or against?
I don't know.
I'll be against. Thatcher's not the first ban.
What if we're both for?
That kind of defeats the point about it. Give me money!
Who the hell bans Nomad on Oregon?
You know, that's an interesting question that I was just about to bring up after I extorted you for cash. Why the Nomad ban? I mean, like, she's not a bad operator on Oregon, but like, okay, we do get the Thatcher ban as well, so that's at least, you know, some normalcy restored. But yeah, Nomad, not an operator I would think you would get rid of on Oregon. Again, not because she's bad, she has her utility, but you're keeping all hard breachers up, including Maverick. Maybe you just really want hard breaching. You don't want to be stopped in that way, but either way, I guess Nomad's off the board. Mira will follow after the Thatcher for the first defensive ban. So again, that checks out. Mira's a common ban on any map, and she has her strong spots on Oregon. It's not her strongest map, but it's still up there for how much potential she has to be utilized. Final ban, would not be surprised if we see a Wamai get banned out, common ban on Oregon, and it's going to be the Cade.
Yeah.
Interesting. Again,
because no Thatcher, so they're like, ooh.
Yeah, normally when you see Cade bans the most, it's when Thatcher and Mav are banned, but if one of them is up, usually if the Thatcher's taken off the board, you just get rid of the Cade as well. But then again, also it's just kind of sometimes teams are like, you know what? Let's get the Cade off the board. We do not like him. And that was probably the logic in this case.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm not in the team's comms. For all I know, it could have been like... For all I know, it could have been like a last-second decision. They were like, guys, let's ban Tachanka. Then they're like, wait, Cade! And then they switched at the last second.
All right. Thank you for your insight.
No problem. That's why they pay me the big bucks. That's that like 600... How many hours do I have in Siege, actually?
I don't know.
I just wasn't asking you, like, directly.
Okay, my bad.
I don't care about your opinion.
Darn.
That is your bad.
Anyway. It's gonna be Wandry first.
What did you just say?
It's gonna be Laundry first.
You just said Wandry.
Fake news.
All right.
And we're gonna have the Wamai Jaeger combo come out. Very popular on Oregon. Usually you see a Wamai banned. I feel like he's definitely a much more popular one than the Cade, even when Thatcher is off the board. But nevertheless, they'll both be here, as well as the Goyo, as well as the Maestro, as well as the Smoke Shield. There's a whole ton of utility denial now on the board for Neo. Interesting that it's actually X24 playing the Smoke, but I mean, who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, I would imagine Indy, but Indy does play a lot of Goyo. Meanwhile, on Synthetic, we have the Zoph, we have the Ashe, and we've got the Iana, the triple threat now of utility clearing. Now that Iana has not only the nades, not only the infinitely respawning hologram drone thingies, but also the Gone 6. So if anything, she has just as much burn/destructible utility as the Ashe. So you'll probably see her moving in to a lot more lineups. It seems like they're kind of sacrificing what would normally be a like a sledge pick or a buck on this map. Typically, you would just run the sledge like solely for the nades, but because Iana has them as well, and because you know they're in the basement, and because there's really no vertical play on the basement at all, you'll bring the Iana. Axe, though, is just going to swing above his Goyo shield right into the barrel's door and lop the head off of Poison, the ace, one of your most important hard breachers, now no longer available to you.
Thankfully for Synthetic, actually, I just realized those bans for Synthetic are wrong, and I was about to say, they only lost one of their hard breach. They still have Maverick up, and Freak will also minimize the damage. He trades onto Acts, the one who killed the Ace just a few moments prior, but that trade still goes staunchly in the favor of the defense. But because you do still have that Maverick, you're able to open up E-Box Hatch. That's what Rice has done. He can start sending nades on down through to try and clear out of pillars. But Project Neo have opted to retreat much earlier, either fearing pressure from backstairs or fearing Freak's entry into, well, I guess, into bunker, but he's now dead because X24, following after Axe, just decided to swing double door, and now all of your bunker pressure is gone. Nas forced to rotate, pick up the diffuser, and time is starting to dwindle down, especially for how much man count they have left. Mo will make an entry into pillars, so he's at least gotten that bit of map control for his team, but that was already seeded by Project Neo. Synthetic so far have failed to actually take any map control by force and truly push any defenders out of their positions before they can wreak havoc on the attacking team. They still have 3 frag grenades, one of which will be utilized by Mo to send on in to take down X24. He'll only be taken down to 25, so still alive and going in for the entry. Might be able to find the kill, misses some shots, but lands the rest. At least the ones that matter. And for 40 seconds left, it's a 3v3. This is anyone's game right now.
Ooh, great shot by Rice, though. Good find onto the deputy himself. And Indy now dead inside of Freezer. One refrag comes through from Spiker, peeking down the long hallway, but amidst all the chaos, Nas able to get that plant down. Spiker can see the Maverick holes, but he's distracted right now by the Ashe swinging him. He's very wary of the Iana's position. He peeks around the bomb chassis, but doesn't see Na crouched right behind it. That advantage was fully in Neo's favor. They had taken out the hard breacher, taken out one of the destruction operators as well in the Zof down really early, and even retreated from bunker. They got out of elbow, and with X24 even preserving his shield, but that fierce entry in from not only the Maverick but the Iana as well, really saving the day. Na getting the plant off too, and Synthetics were somehow able to recover that round.
Yeah, good job for them again, especially after losing that ace so early on. It would have kind of sucked if, you have all your hard breachers in play. Again, a rarity on Oregon. You had that Nomad get taken out. We were kind of thrown off guard, but that does mean Synthetic have all the hard breachers. So if suddenly your attack was thwarted in the first 30 seconds because you somehow managed to lose one of your most pivotal hard breachers, that would have sucked. But again, great recovery by Synthetic. Now, moving on to dorms, they've got one attacking win on one of the more defender-favored bomb sites. They should be looking good, but again, also as well, that was a very strong Neo round for, I'd say, 2 out of the 3 minutes that took place in that round. They maybe fell back from their positions a bit too early, but when it came to putting pressure on the attacking team and putting them on their back feet, they were extremely successful in that. Maybe it was because of aggressive peaks as opposed to, actual strategy, but it worked nonetheless. And Synthetic, up until the final 30 seconds, didn't have an answer for it. So I think if Neo try to employ that same strategy and take Synthetic off guard, it's a bit risky. But if they hold on to that control just a bit longer than they did previously, I think we might see that strategy become a bit more successful. But Harrison, X24 is on alibi. What could that mean? What's the big brain play here?
He wants to play a shield and also run around like a monkey with the MX4 Storm.
Yeah, that's about my.
That's
my read on it.
That's probably JJ going, "Hey Logan, just go kill people. We just need a shield." So he's like, "All right, I'll take alibi, put my utility down, and then leave." He's got all 3 prismas in his pocket. Indy also still has a bulletproof cam in his pocket.
One thing I was gonna say, X24, he was a lot of the times on those fragger rolls, but I do remember he would often play Wamai, which was, a bit more of a support role, not one you'd see, in the front lines. So when I saw him on smoke, kind of got reminded of that. So it's not out of the question for him, but yeah, now he's just on alibi down in kitchen.
Why has Indy still not placed his bulletproof cam?
You know, he's waiting for the
Is he
opportune
gonna like
moment.
pocket it? Like he's gonna wait till he gets pushed and he's like,
Nah,
action
so
cam.
here's what's gonna happen, right? He's gonna quick peek out with the bulletproof in his hands. It'll tank all the bullets, and then he'll re-peek with the UMP, catch him off guard. It'll be a great play.
All right, well, I guess we'll wait and see. Rice has successfully now opened a large enough hole in attic for the Ionic drone to start to slip through, but because it wasn't fully opened, and then he had to go and open it wider, the timer actually ran out, so they didn't really get as much use out of it as they probably hoped. Not all the way down over towards pit. Synthetic, though, their push is pretty damn standard. Starts off in attic. They rotate over towards games. They'll get the games wall open. And Freak on his downstairs roam clear. Well, he'll get the first entry frag onto Indy, looking for another, but Mohes will help out, and they'll successfully pinch X24 inside of the meeting room. So really early 2 picks here for Synthetic onto the castle and the alibi. Sure, in terms of utility, it's not that big a deal, but hey, man counts, man count, and when you're up 2 men, it makes your attack a hell of a lot easier. Deputy Blastful, though, will try and even things out. Shotgun to the face of Poison takes out the Hibana, but Freak is there with a quick trade. Axe now moves in with the MP5K in hand, trying to cover White, but the Iana clone will spot him out. The peek coming out from Freak, it deals a lot of damage, and he cannot escape behind the bunker. It's all Spiker. 1 versus 4. He's stuck downstairs, and they know exactly where he is, and it's through the hatch that Nah will claim the final kill. Synthetic take round number 2.
Yeah, where previously with Synthetic on the back foot, that was definitely them making the aggressive plays early on, and expertly done roam clear down below. Again, we talked about X24, probably going to be running around like a monkey, but it was much more concentrated than I think we gave them credit for. X24, alongside, I believe it was Indy, were both sitting inside a kitchen, sitting inside a meeting, trying to hold down below to prevent any sort of destruction or map control from below that could aid the attic push or any potential push up White Stairs or from Big Window. But both the entry duo of Mohes and Freak were able to set up a pinch, one coming from Green Hall, the other coming from inside of kitchen once Indy was dealt with. Good job to Freak for getting that opening pick. Once that was done, Project Neo, at the very least, they weren't able to get enough time to set up their positions to anticipate and try to win that 3v5. And Synthetic just walked all over them. Freak pushing up White, the attic push came out, and at that point, JJ got 1 kill, but it wasn't enough to stop the tide that was coming from Synthetic, and that was good overall. Gaining that early momentum and then keeping it through, not letting yourself get stalled out. Much more convincing win from Synthetic that I think kind of ease our minds that that first round might have just been a fluke. Might be seeing some strong attacks from the orange team right now.
Yeah, the very first round, they definitely not only did their ace get caught out, but across the rest of the round, their utility usage wasn't exactly on point. Especially when we saw, the Zoph just kind of walk into elbow without clearing the shield and getting her head taken off. Hopefully, we see Synthetic maybe slow down a bit, not lose Poison too early on. Who's now off the ace and onto the Hibana. I wonder why. Well, actually, no. I don't have to wonder why. I would imagine that Synthetic are going to be going for more than 1 hatch. Probably see not only E-Box, but also Freezer get open. That's typically why you take the Hibana, so you can open literally everything. Or perhaps they're waiting to use it on elbow, but you do have a Maverick, so you can use it for that. You also have the Maverick for the single panel wall, so... Actually, no. Poison's pushing bunker. Never mind. I don't really know why they're taking Hibana over an ace in this situation, but...
Hey, maybe he just likes Hibana.
Maybe he needs that extra speed.
I mean, I was thinking, when you see an ace get brought on Oregon, they're normally trying to open up more laterally than the hatches, because, of course, you need to summon charges to open up a hatch. Why the hell would you go for hatches? That's a waste of utility, especially when you have a Maverick. But with Hibana, not only can you open up those hatches, but since the rework, you have much more of an opportunity to open up walls as well in tandem with those hatches. They're not as big as ace charges can make, that's for sure, but it's still enough where you can be a nuisance to the attacking team. Speaking of nuisance, Act is currently playing like how he normally does, trying to make an aggressive play up Big Tower Stairs, but he misses his pre-fire. Nah, or Mohes, or I believe that was Mohes, was not giving the wanted engagement, or whichever one of the entries was, so he has to back off now. He's not able to get that same aggressive pick and that opening pick that he was able to last time. So on the one hand, that means that Project Neo don't have the same momentum or the same man advantage they had at the beginning. But what it does mean is the map control is still firmly in their favor. They have pillars. They're still stopping the push outside of E-Box. Sure, nobody's dead, but they're wasting so much more time and holding onto that map control for so much longer. So now when you're pushing into a 5v5, if you haven't taken out the utility, or you're still walking into the arms of the defense, though one is now dead thanks to a drop in from Rice, it might be tough to clear. But gaining that opening pick, Synthetic might just have enough room to maneuver and clear out the rest of the defenders, but the time is ticking down.
Really well-timed drop from Rice there to pinch out that Wamai. Gas canister actually gets shot in midair as X24 desperately throws out another one to cover his tracks as he's getting stunned over and over again. His shield will finally be cleared. It'll light him up to just 1 HP, but he doesn't fall out of elbow just yet. He's trying to play aggressively with that shotgun, but finally he'll put up that reinforcement, lock off elbow, just as Freak and Poison start to move in. So X24, he's at least alive, but his utility has been exhausted. Only 15 seconds left as elbow is now being opened up by that Hibana. X24 will place close on it and lose his life as JJ finds 1 refrag. JJ will find actually 2 to even things out in 3v3. 7 seconds left. The Iana goes down trying to push up. Poison stuck in a corner. Axe with an easy pre-fire. And a third from Axe. The Jaeger goes crazy. And Project Neo take round number 3. Finally, their first defensive win.
And that was a case of Synthetic. They stalled out a lot on that push where, you know, oddly enough, they were able to find the momentum and find the maneuverability in the previous round because, do recall, they were still... The main count was a bit different, but they were still pushing with very little time left, and they had to overcome a lot of gunfights that were not favored for them in order to get that first round win. That was a similar situation. They managed to find Spiker early on the opening pick. Rice dropping down through E-Box hatch, found the Wamai. Okay, that's Pillars control. The Jaeger is now retreated back. You still have to worry about him pre-firing, but you have that bit of map control to set up and execute. But X24 also held out for much longer inside of bunker than he did last time. Again, didn't find Freak on the entry, but he still held out till the final 20 seconds. So with all that utility left and all those guns still aimed at the doorway, in the final seconds, when Synthetic had to push, they weren't able to watch all the necessary angles, and that allowed Axe to walk up Whitehall, get that 3-piece, and end the round in favor of Project Neo. So that was what I think we all expected round 1 to be like. It was just 2 rounds delayed for that to actually come about, the expected conclusion.
Is that so?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what did you, in the first round where you're like, yeah, Synthetic's got this?
10 seconds to insertion.
No.
That's what I thought.
5 seconds left before insertion.
Well, we're back to dorms. This is a round where I thought, yeah, Synthetic's got this.
Attackers are heading out to
Yeah, I think
Because
I think most people.
Yeah, because they kind of destroyed the roam and then just collapsed onto site perfectly. Indy's back on Castle. We got 2 changes, though. X24 on the Oryx.
Those combios.
And Axe on the Aruni. The Axruni.
Or
Arunex.
Arts.
Drone activated.
Or Acne.
Well, you know, you got the U. I mean, I guess you could pretend it's like not there, but
ACNI. There you go.
you literally just took out the U.
Yeah, and?
Like, if that were a consonant, I'd be okay with it, but that's like a whole vowel. That's actually like the main vowel in a Rooney. Like, you got the I.
I thought
I did
Freak
too.
just got a kill on someone that we couldn't see, but it's actually X24 to take out Na, interrupting our highly intelligent conversation
Riveting
about
discussion
combining
about
Act's
portmanteaus.
name with Aruni. So Na's dead. Na's 2-2. I mean, he saved round number 1 and then hadn't really done anything past that, but it's an important piece of utility off the board. You know, you don't want to deal with a triple threat of Axe, of Ash, Iana, and Zoph, especially with the nades of the Maverick as well. But X24, he's looking for more. He's not going to fall back to the site just yet. He's going to creep up the tower stairs. There's someone right there, but he looks away at the wrong time. It's an easy kill for Freak, an easy refrag, but losing your Ash for your Oryx, and with a minute 15 on the board, that's still a win for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it a win for the defense. I mean, this is most definitely a win for the defense. You've lost X24, but the roam has not been dealt with nearly as swiftly as it was last time, and You lost the only guy so far who's gotten a kill, but it's still a minute, and Indy's still alive. Yep, that's unfortunate, especially since Freak was the one who took out Indy last time on the roam. Not able to spot the castle this go around inside of security, he's been able to fall down the hatch, rotate up freezer stairs, and try and catch the Zofia, the same one trying to catch the castle off guard. Well, the castle might just do the opposite to the Zofia. 40 seconds left. Spiker's got control of White. One might come up from behind if he's not careful, but that's why Indy's there, to watch and make sure that White control is still strongly in their favor. You can see Freak starting to make his way up. 2 Zofia lifelines utilized, but that's what the flank was for. Finds the head of Zofia. Spiker finds one as well. 2 members removed from the board, and 2 still alive. Mo's got out of control, but there's defenders all around. Rice is a big window, but he might as well be an island away. Mo will manage to find one. Just around the corner is a second. Not looking, but he pulls out the shotgun, but it doesn't matter. Axe gets both to seal it out.
How did Axe get both of them?
I have no idea. The P10 Roni has like 2 bullets in the mag, but hey, he got the kill anyway, and a nice flick as well. Good job from Project Neo. They've seemed to have an answer for whatever Synthetic are bringing out these past couple rounds.
Much better roam game from them this round, too. I'm not quite sure what changed in terms of play style. Really, the only thing is just that, this time, X24 won his fight. Down went not. I mean, he was very swiftly refragged, but Indy's positioning played very well. I almost said played very well as well. Also played very well, dropping down the freezer, or the freezer hatch, as you said, and coming up White and catching Freak off guard. And from there, it was just that was kind of wraps at that point, because the attackers were all just kind of pushing in the same direction. Mohez was able to get one exit frag, but couldn't outduel. Well, he was about to outduel JJ with the rate that was going, but Axe just kind of saved it. So Project Neo, much better roam. Now they have to go to the offsite. They won Laundry and Dorms consecutively to answer back to the 2 from Synthetic. They'll try their best on meeting. Are they... Oh, okay, no, sorry. I thought they were going to play in, like, T2 or T3, but it was just JJ making a rotate. So, when it comes to meeting, or when it comes to, either of these middle floor sites, you have to hold upstairs. You just have to. It's a fact of life. So, it looks like the main operator's tasked with doing that will probably be the Jaeger, the Mute, and the Malusi, or a combination of 2 out of those 3. You have good guns upstairs, play around each other, usually 1 guy on White, 1 in Kids, maybe 1 by Big Bunk, or 1 in Attic. The spread is really up to you. But first things first, Synthetic is going to be clearing out those roamers. You're going to see Na trying to rappel up. He's got a little bullet hole, actually, that maybe a defender had made that he's certainly going to take advantage of, but no one on the defense is going to peek it just yet. They'll be happy to just start setting up, making holes in the floor and the such, and trying to hold on upstairs for as long as humanly possible.
I admire Na's patience right now, but right as I admire it, he'll rotate on down. Honestly, probably good. You don't need to be holding a bullet hole for that long, and there are other more efficient ways to try and clear out the upstairs clear. Looks like, based on how many are stacked on that side of the map, it might come from the attic side or from the big tower side, but that's also where most people stake their execute to try to open that stage wall and get a plant either behind the podium or just on the breach if they have the coverage necessary. They have opened up that right panel, so the ability to clear out the roamers up top or at least hold down a crossfire is much easier, but Axe is rotated back down, or at the very least he's been on the site. So there's 3 members right now. You have the Smoke of JJ, still got 3 Toxic Babes because it's only minute 20 in. You've got Indy on the Maestro with an Alda, a fearsome tool to say the least. Then on top of that you have Axe with the C4 and just a great shot in general. This is a pretty stacked lineup that Synthetic are finding themselves in, and on top of all that, they still haven't established upstairs control. They're able to hold the angle and cut off any rotation into attic, but the longer they wait, the more impact these 2 defenders upstairs, being the Jaeger and the Mute, could potentially have. That's one of the main worries, whether or not it comes from a flank or if they manage to win a gunfight against one of those defenders holding that wall. That could be the difference maker. For now, Synthetic will continue holding their angles, continue gathering info, whether it be watching upstairs or downstairs. But at this point, it's a 5v5, less than a minute left. This is a position that favors the defenders, especially with how much utility is still on the board.
So when I said you have to take upstairs, I lied a little bit. The one case where you don't is if you can open up attic and just hold the defenders there, denying that control of the hatch, and you can safely plant stage. Indy will get droned out and will attempt to escape, but he's quickly caught by Freak. Good coverage there on the angle, but there's a C4 from Axe to trade back. Freak, though, tags on for one, as does Nice and Raw. It's one kill each for each of those three players, and that leaves just JJ alone in a 1 versus 4. He doesn't know what angle to watch, and as he sprints, there's Rice on the tower stairs to find the last kill. Synthetic take round number 5, as it was really slow for a large portion of that round. Like you said, just until like about under a minute, but once that push came, it was fearsome, and no one from Project Neo was able to fight back.
Yeah, I think I even underestimated the power of what Synthetic were having. I knew they were holding those angles. I was like, yeah, that could be powerful, but if I'm being honest, I expected at least one gunfight to go their way, just with the players on Project Neo, and especially the players up top. You have both. No, Axe was on the. Who was on the Jaeger? Was that Spiker? I can't exactly remember. Yes, it was.
Yes, because Axe was
Yeah.
on the Lucy, yeah.
Yeah. So you had Spiker on the Jaeger and X24 on the Mute. I expected at least one of those gunfights to go their way, but the coverage from Synthetic rang true the entire time. They managed to find all those kills when the gunfights came out, and the only kill that actually went to favor of Neo was Act C4. So one of the utility did come into play, and JJ did a good job delaying the time with those smokes. But I just underestimated Synthetic's angle coverage, and hey, that's on me, because clearly Neo underestimated it as well. Now they have to go down to basement, and the best they can hope for is a 3-3 on Oregon. And that's not something you want to see. That is the bare minimum for what you want, and you can still recover from that in your attacking half, but you should be trying to go for a 4-2 based on how defenders' sided this map should be. So unfortunate for them, they will be going down to basement, where they have a 1-1 record on, just like every other site, except for Meeting, which is now 0-1. So for Project Neo, if Synthetic, play the same way they played in rounds 3 and 4, you could be confident, but if they catch you off guard like rounds 1 and 2 again, who knows? Honestly, right now, this 6th final round in this half, it's anybody's game, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, as long as Project Neo are able to tie up the half, they're still looking pretty good going into their attacking split. On a map like Oregon, you do not want to be down 4-2. This is a defender-sided map still. It hasn't yet had the clubhouse effect.
All right.
But things are going to start off poorly for Project Neo. X24, whether or not he gets a little bit too aggressive or just gets caught in a rotate, either way, his head will be ripped off by Poison. It looks like he got too aggressive. That's a little bit unfortunate. You have now lost your smoke, holding elbow in, what was that? About 20, 30 seconds into the round,
Yeah, about-
all gas
about 30
canisters still in his pocket. That's
You
not great.
Oh.
All right, well, at least Spiker trades back one. Down goes your Ash.
But
So,
it's-
I mean, if you're going to lose your smoke, I guess Ash is a fine trade. Actually, I mean, anyone on this attacking lineup is a fine trade at this point with how much necessary utility there is on the attack. Every trade you get just serves to favor the defense, just by the way utility plays out.
All right.
And Indy just swings Freak. All right.
So I was like, wow, Neo lost their smoke in 30 seconds. I would not be surprised if this round goes Synthetic and they build up that momentum. But then Nas swung Big Tower and lost, and Freak held a very aggressive angle in Laundry and also lost. So didn't anticipate that one, but Spiker still retreated out of pillars fairly early on, so that's a bit of map control for the defense. One of the core reasons that Project Neo won last time was because of how long X24 held on the bunker. It looks like they might not even need it, though. JJ's retaken the position and even found Poison. Found a second onto Mohess as well, and Rice falls soon after. A great shot from Spiker. Barely even saw him cross that angle.
He just hit him with a drive-by.
Yeah, he got away with highway robbery on that one. But I mean, I really did think that losing your smoke in 30 seconds would be a massive issue for Neo. That was the only body they lost, I think. What does that even mean?
Logan is telling the other team to touch grass. It means he wants them to go outside, put their hands on the ground, and touch the grass.
I don't know if there was like some grander meaning or if it was just like the literal meaning.
No,
Like,
you don't know what people mean when they
It's
tell someone to touch
just
grass.
like go outside
It's like
sweaty.
yeah, it's like a call out. Yeah, it's like a go outside basically.
Gotcha.
It's another word for it. Another way of saying that. But yeah, Synthetic's push just kind of sucked.
Yeah, wasn't great.
They just nice.
Wasn't great.
They just took ones and they lost. I mean, there was really no semblance of like
Freak was just in laundry.
execute. Yeah, that was one of those cheeky like, heh, I'm gonna push from the,
I have
I'm gonna hit it from
never
the
seen
back, and
that
they'll
work.
never
By
know.
the way, I have like okay, maybe there's 1 or 2 times where that's worked, but I'm telling you, 95% of the time somebody goes for the I'm gonna sit laundry. It doesn't work. I don't see that work. Most of the time it happens, but people keep doing it.
Freak was like, haha, I'm gonna hit it
8-4.
from the back.
And
And then Indy said no.
And then
Not allowed
Indy
to.
clapped back and said, "Shut up, go outside,
Go touch grass, if you will.
go touch grass."
So, Neo literally just being able to hold angles that round. That's kind of just counter swinging, pretty much. And it's a 3-3 half. There you go. That's kind of what we expect from Oregon. It's normally defender sided. It's not too defender sided where you expect a 4-2 every game.
It's not unheard of for a 3-3.
So
yeah,
I mean, but both teams are still looking okay. It's a pretty standard downstairs defense here from Synthetic. They've got the elbow shield, got Maestro. They've got a shield and barrel because they've got Goyo. All that good stuff. Okay, I was about to say the one weird thing is that they had Rice on mute holding elbow, but no, they've rotated Poison in instead. Neil will start smoking out for whatever reason, but first Goyo shield will be popped, Freak taking a little bit of damage, a negligible amount. He's forced to fall back from barrel. So far, Neo doing pretty well, discarding all this utility, but where was Indy?
upstairs
What?
apparently.
Where?
Oh, he was in meeting,
Ah,
and now he's
Wow.
not.
well, the Zero got flanked. That's super unfortunate for him. Kind of ironic. Mohes with a great opener. Zero has a hell of a lot of utility, and especially taking out Acts, your main gunner on the squad right now, only serves to strengthen your defense even more. 2-man advantage. Well, make it a 1-man advantage. Now Freak gets taken out by Spiker. Still 3v4. I mean, you still got all 3 ace charges on X24. Still got nades and likely the Gone 6 on Spiker. You still got nades on JJ too. So while you might not have manpower, you still have a decent amount of utility. The struggle here now, though, for X24 is that he's got to try and clear this elbow shield, and he's really got no way to burn it unless he wants to sacrifice his ace charges, which would not be great. Spiker gets downed by
It might have been his own nade.
his own nade because no one on the defense has actually lost an explosive. So that is unfortunate to say the least for the Iana. He'll have to play the rest of the round at just 1 point's worth of HP. As JJ tries to go in, looking for that early plant attempt, looking for that entry pick into the site that his team desperately needs, but doesn't take the angle smart enough. Mohes peeks right over the bomb chassis and takes off his head. Spiker there at least with a refrag, but he and X24 aren't looking so healthy. He will connect on a third. Great shot there from the Iana. 2 versus 2, even man count, but struggling here for Neo now, though, is that Poison still has 2 gas canisters and coming in for the elbow flank, while Rice still has a C4, and they've got to try and get this plant down in the next 20 seconds.
X24 will fall, and it's all left up to Spiker to try to get the ace, but again, there's still one holding elbow and still one holding the closet as well. It's an easy crossfire for Synthetic to seal out the round. On top of that, they still had 2 smoke canisters and a C4, so if they wanted to play that a bit more passively, try and let the utility do the talking, might have been a bit harder considering how aggressive the final 2 members of Dio were seeming to get, but it still was strongly Synthetic's round, especially with the pace set by Mohes early on. Most of that was Neo losing, well, Neo save for Spiker until the very end. Neo save for Spiker losing every gunfight they tried to take, and particularly for the first 2, Mohes just completely dominated 2 members of the defense, walked into split, managed to kill the Zero, who, by the way, was not alone. JJ was also inside of meeting. Then again, he was probably getting the hatch, so he was a bit preoccupied. But that doesn't excuse the fact that Mohes just walked into split and killed the Zero, the one who, typically sets up the flank cams. Then on top of that, he went continuously unknown. Freak got a kill soon after. That was just Neo not effectively clearing out the positions of Synthetic, and whereas on the side of Neo, it usually resulted in map control being firmly held, for Synthetic, it resulted in that, but moreover, 2 kills for the defense, because Neo didn't effectively clear them out or know where they even were sitting. So, unfortunate way to start off your attack, and Not a good pace to set for the rest of the rounds, but hey, you got basement out of the way. That's the one upside I can give you.
Yeah, it'll be dorms now for Synthetic. Project Neo still taking the same operator lineup. No Zoph is definitely interesting. Axe instead just kind of preferring the Ash, and Neo wanting to bring that Iana. Zero's cool. I like Zero.
I do
He's
too.
a apt substitute for the Nomad if she's ever gone. I would argue that Zero is maybe even better than Gridlock at the flank watch. Because, I mean, sure, it's not a soft stop like the Gridlock is. It's not a hard stop like the Nomad is, but you have more of them. You have 4. And you can even use them to burn utility or take any out with those little lasers, if you so choose. And he has a hard breach charge. And his gun is really freaking good.
And he's Sam Fisher.
That too. That makes him even cooler.
And he's got the
like,
Gone
isn't he
6.
like almost 70?
He's old as like dirt. He's almost old as like Benny.
Hell.
Yeah, he's old.
Well,
Kind of a different. I mean, with Zero, you got to be a bit more active. You know, you got to be watching those cams. Gridlock's a bit more passive, but then again, you also should be a bit more. You shouldn't just throw down a track stinger and forget about it. You also need to be actively watching it. So yeah, I'd probably agree with you that Zero, good substitute over Gridlock. But when it comes to info as well, you also have to seek out where the defenders are. See what I did there? Because Rice is sitting around the corner, and he's just killed JJ. The Maverick, one of your 2 hard breachers, might find the second, and yes, he does. Costs 75 HP, but he takes down Act. One of the stronger guns on Neo has now been one of the opening picks 2 rounds in a row. Spiker will try to equalize. He's still got to find one more to make it truly even, but he's taken out the top fragger on the side of Synthetic. One with a lot of intel and a C4 as well. So, Synthetic, they've lost 1 body. Rice is on 25 HP, but a lot of the damage has still been done. Trading out a Valkyrie for a Maverick and an Ash, I would take that trade. But Spiker has managed to find his way in the site, and he's holding an angle onto White. There's one right around the corner, but he's playing passive. Mohes will peek out for just a sec. He lands the pre-fire. Didn't expect that one to go his way, but hey, good on ya. Rice will get a third to go his way, so he's shooting the straightest for Synthetic so far. And Spike on 25 HP, now on the floor, doesn't have a lot of room to maneuver. X24, not long for this world either. It's a quad for the Mute. I think Synthetic can thank Rice for the majority of that round.
that round was over as soon as Rice was able to get that 2K in green. That should not be allowed to happen. If you've got a man mavericking meeting and you know that basement is clear, you have to be watching that green hall. Improper coverage there meant the death of JJ. Acts whiffing as well, not able to get the trade. You're already down 2 men. Your tower push is dead. All you have going for you now is whoever you have by games in big window. Sure, Spiker is able to get himself in and able to get that frag on White, but the fact that Indy jumps in right into a crossfire with nothing else cleared, just out of desperation, losing his life for free, and Spiker's low HP being really taken advantage of, there's not a lot that Neo can do in that round. I think Indy actually, I think, got killed by Rice, so that would have been actually from below, an angle looking up, watching the big window, a very common one, in fact. And again, because Neo weren't able to push tower, they didn't have enough time to actually clear down below and get Rice out. They didn't have really any control pushing onto the site, and that was done and dusted. That was a good round from Synthetic, and Rice in particular getting that 4K. Neo are now down 2 points. They have not won an attack yet. If they're looking to try and even the score out just by a little bit, this is probably their best chance to do so. It's going to be dining, not meeting, as we saw in the last half, but dining. A site where it's way more important to actually take the top floor as the attack. Because meeting, again, if you're going for a stage plant, all you really have to do is open attic and then hold the defenders there. But because of the angle, you can get through the hatch all the way down into dining to stop that default plant spot. As the attack, you are forced to take out these roamers no matter what.
Taking out the roam is something Neo have struggled with so far. I mean, they've struggled with a lot of aspects of the defense, but taking out those roamers early on has been a big thorn in their side. They will start to... Okay, I thought they threw a Selma on the wall for a sec. Okay, yeah, they did, but it got muted. So I was confused for a sec. I was like, wait, what the hell? But yep, so they'll throw a Soma Charge on the mute device. They will have to destroy that for the Soma Charge to actually take effect. But on top of that, you have Freak with those impact grenades sitting inside as well. So there are 2 layers of denial here. The moment that mute device gets destroyed, you could probably expect an impact grenade from Freak to sail on out. Cover it all you want, Spiker. You'll probably have enough maneuverability to sit inside there and get one. But JJ will go for this common angle with the Maverick. We even saw a highlight from Yeti in the NAL. Open this exact same angle, and he just might find Freak, but only a little bit of damage is done. The Maestro is still allowed to stay alive, and now that he knows that hole is open, he doesn't have as much freedom to play with, and that's a crucial angle that Axe can hold. But he might still be able to impact Trick. And that means that the attack, for the moment, still stalled out.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to send some utility down into the showers to try and get rid of those ADSs and allow a nade to go through to destroy the mute jammer. But as Freak falls off of showers and then decides, hey, hear me out, what if I retake it? He's going to get crossfired, and down he goes to the hands of X24. Now, JJ has paid the price. He's down to very, very low HP, but he's still got 2 nades, so he can still affect the round indirectly, and he's not the one going for the plant, so he won't be susceptible to a Wayward Nitro Cell or a gas canister from Poison. Things seem to be slowing down from Neo, though, as Rice takes out Indy, no more Zero. Spiker trying to get aggressive through the showers, rotate, looking for an angle onto White Stairs. Not quite sure if... I thought I saw someone tucked in the corner, but no, there isn't. X24 is going to go for the plant as Spiker catches one walking downstairs. X24 is killed by Mohes, so the plant attempt stunted, at least for now. Even man count so far in the last 48 seconds. JJ's able to pick up the diffuser, but on low HP, he'll have to be careful, and he's taken out from above. But Spiker and Axe get both the anchors. It's just Mohes, that player denying from the hatch in a 1 versus 2. A whole 38 seconds for the attackers to play with. They've got plenty of time, and he will lose his fight to Spiker. A big 3K there on the round for the Iana, and Project Neo finally take their first attacking round.
Again, oddly enough, things going the opposite of what Harrison and I predicted. Neo managed to find a way where they didn't have to deal with that roam, albeit it came extremely close. They didn't clear out the roam, but Mohes still had that angle looking inside the dining, and he got a few kills just sitting there. The last of which onto JJ, I believe the person who was initially going for the plant. Then again, he was on 1 HP, so it wasn't that hard to deal with. But that goes to show it is possible to take dining room and kitchen without clearing out that roam, but you can pay for it if you're not careful. Just so happens that a little bit of luck and some good timing and good crossfires kept Neo alive. The first of which was getting that crossfire onto Freak. He fell out of showers, rotated out exactly the good time, but as Harrison said, he opted to retake it, and that was most definitely not the play. He should have cut his losses there, tried to hang back, but instead he walked right into the waiting arms of the attacking team, and they took the bit of momentum and ran with it. Synthetic continued giving themselves up to gunfights, in which Neo were apt to take away from them. And while it did come close to a 1v2, and that's good on Synthetic for almost bringing it back with a little bit of upstairs control, looking down into dining that they had left, still enough for Neo to recover the diffuser, watch an angle, wait for Mo to come back down, and clean it up. So, while that's good on Neo for making do with what they have, that is also a cautionary tale for how close it can be when you don't clear out that roam.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why Neo were able to win that round is because they killed everyone else. You don't necessarily need to deal with the roam if you force the roam to come back. If Synthetic's anchor game was just a little bit more stalwart, that could have been a round in their favor. That's
the issue. If those gunfights don't go your way down below, you're screwed.
Yeah, that was weird. That guy's phone was really bright. Did you see that?
That is bright. What the hell?
That's a visual bug I've never seen before. They'll spot one of those players on the tower stairs, Freak playing pretty aggressively. He'll land one bullet into like the toe of Indy or something. Make the Zero lose a little bit of chip damage, but you know, nothing major. Spiker's quick to chase him back down. Hovering around the barbed wire. Freak still playing pretty aggressively, but hopefully he doesn't overpeak and throw his life away. Again, though, we see Mohes on this roam. This is what caught Indy out last time, was able to give Synthetic that first frag. Here we go. Finally, we get to see the Gon 6 in use. I feel like that's the first time I've actually seen it.
That's what I was thinking.
Shot.
I've seen its effect, but I've never actually seen someone pull out the Gon 6 and shoot it like in front of me before.
Shout out to
cool.
Christopher Uzumaki Valdez for capturing it live on camera.
I thought you were going to shout out Spiker for using it for a sec. I was really confused. I was like, I mean, yeah. All right, X24 just smoked Nah. That's Again, second time in a row, you've lost your Maestro pretty early on, and this one's inside of pillars. Thankfully, you still have 2 members holding pillars, so in terms of map control, not the worst thing, but again, losing that Maestro, no longer the Alden, you're not able to use those Evil Eyes to their full extent. Unfortunate, to say the least, especially since it's gone unpunished on the side of Synthetic. They do still have Freak holding an angle in the bunker, not able to find the defenders or the attacker sitting behind barrels. So for the moment, he'll just have to continue holding his angle. But with a minute 12 seconds left, that Goyo shield getting blown up, he should probably start rotating back, and right as I say that, he does the exact opposite. He pays with his life, but Mo pays in kind with a trade. The scale's even, and now especially even in terms of man count with Acts on the floor. Could get picked up or could get baited out by Poison. That's exactly what he'll do. But X24 finds it anyway, but Mo finds 2 as well. He retakes bunker. X24 still on the floor, but it's effectively a 2v2, a triple for the Goyo. And the diffuser inside as well. He spots the head. He lands them all. That might have been a quad. Not sure if it was an ace, but it was definitely an outstanding round for Mohes on Synthetic.
Yeah, that was a 4K.
Okay, that's what I thought.
If it was an ace, it would have done the Moji and
I
ace
remember.
thing.
See, I remember one time somebody did in a game. Somebody got an ace, and I think like the HUD that did that was disabled, or it was a flawless round, so it took like precedence. So I like second guessed myself.
Oh well,
He still got a lot of kills.
that was a 4K. Neo, after killing that guy in pillar and getting Freak, should have had that in the bag. I'm gonna be honest. That was a really good bait by X24 too, onto the smoke. With I think that was Poison pushing out like that and just getting 180'd there by the Hibana. And then Synthetic did they won't expect 2. And Mohes walked up and just fried everybody he came into contact with. He killed I believe killed the rezzing player. He killed X24, snapped onto JJ and backed off. Because Axe was already downed, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, no, I think he got Spiker and then X? Wait. No, it was JJ and X, you're right. Because he downed X, so he killed JJ.
Yeah. And then just pre-fired Indy into oblivion there. The Vector goes pretty damn hard in the right hands, especially when you're taking really close range engagements like that. That should have been a Neo round.
Yeah.
Really
Definitely.
should have been. But Mohes, well, sometimes a player just says no, and the round is done and dusted. Neo had almost everything going for them, except for that coverage and elbow. Something that, for some reason, you know, for the millionth time in a row, they just haven't cleared. Both of these teams, not big fans of actually clearing elbow.
If I get 15, I'll get free G Fuel. All right? We'll see Synthetic just give 2 kills to Spiker out of the kindness of their hearts. Or we might. Hope he gets some
really
G Fuel.
funny if he got spawn peeked.
If he died the moment he typed that. That would have been funny. Alas, it did not happen. Spiker is still alive. Only thing he's lost is a drone so far. Maybe some pride for begging for G Fuel, but we won't clown him too much for that. Right now, it's your standard upstairs take. 3 members on the side of Big Tower. JJ opening up attic wall. But once again, Rice is down below. This position caused a major headache for Project Neo in that it resulted in 2 bullets in, well, multiple bullets landing in 2 heads on the side of Project Neo, one of them being the Maverick. So hopefully they know that the Mute is here this time, and well, they'll at least know somebody's there, because a C4 will fly on out but not find anything. So the utility wasted by Rice, but last time he didn't even need it. It was that SMG-11 that got those 2 kills, and the longer he waits here, the more it's possible that we see him try and go for a repeat. But until then, Neo will push all their normal positions. Master bedroom, attic, just try to do their best with what they have so far.
Now that Rice has used a C4, though, Project Neo don't necessarily have to full clear down below, unless they want to go big windows at some point later in the round, but I don't know if they'll go for that, because Rice is, of course, playing right underneath it. Again, first kill of the round will go the way of Synthetic. Mohes finds Acts. Unfortunately, Tyler not having too much luck in his attacking half. A 4 versus 5 now, and this is Neo's last attempt to try and bring us to OT. X24 will be able to refrag. Down goes Mohes, and down goes an important C4 operator as well as your top fragger, though Rice is still alive and lurking down below right under the big window, ready to stop Indy in his tracks. Spiker's kind of stuck on the breach right now. Both of those defenders by metal holding firm and holding their angles, not overextending, but JJ's able to get into trophy. Indy and Spiker find 1 kill apiece. It's just Rice and Poison, the SAS duo, left with Rice coming up white and Poison inside of Kids. The man on white takes out one, but Poison falls, and now it's all up to Rice on the white stairs. He's stuck there, as X24 with the diffuser will likely go for this plant soon. He'll go right next to the attic doorway. Rice doesn't have an angle. He'll have to walk all the way up to try and counter it, but he'll forfeit the plant, and he'll forfeit his life. JJ from Kid's bedroom finishes him off, and Neo take round number 11. We'll go to max regulation. 1 more for OT, or 1 more for the win for Synthetic.
I will say I got worried there with bottom control still in the favor of the defense, while Neo managed to, or at the very least, Rice ceded a lot of the map control that would have been troublesome for Project Neo if it were still in the hands of Synthetic. It was still possible that he could have made a play. Without his C4, as you said, he was not nearly as much of a threat. But Neo just managed to push on in, win the requisite gunfights, even with a lot of the defenders still strongly in their positions, and he managed to go their way. But they have to win 1 more round, and Synthetic will go dorms again. I was about to say, I'm curious to see if Freak will 6-pick that, and he will, and you'll switch to the Valkyrie. So it'll be held in a similar way. At the very least, people won't be deviating too far from their standard lineups this go around. And with that, Harrison, what do you think? What is the main thing that Synthetic have to do there? Because it wasn't a roam that failed them. They all still had firmly site control. They just pushed out of their positions on the site and caught off guard, or did they just lose gunfights? Because I'll be honest, my monitor's been blinking, and I'm trying to, also kind of see what's going on with that. But
basically what happened is that, for whatever reason, Synthetic got really passive and decided to all kind of peel back over towards Metal and Kids, which allows JJ to just walk in, hug the wall, tuck himself in the corner by the attic doorway, and now Synthetic are like, oh, I can hear this guy, in the room. They're going to go for plant. They tried to push out. Everyone there from Neo was able to catch them. One exposed themselves to Indy. Indy didn't have to jump in the window and lose his life. Spiker was able to walk in through the breach and take one out as well. And again, there's that weird visual bug. Project Neo were able to win their fights thanks to Synthetic's passivity. So now we're 6-5. If Synthetic want to win, I would recommend, honestly, just keeping that aggressive game up. So far, Rice and Mohes have been doing a great job getting those opening picks and keeping the pedal down against Neo. Rice, again, is going to be hugging this green wall, but there's a 0 cam ready. And Spiker will get the first frag onto Na, who decided that on OT point, he was going to play in Classroom. Not quite sure what the plan was there. Ladies and gentlemen, even if Neo don't win this, at least Spiker gets free G Fuel.
that is true. We can all congratulate him for that. Mohes has also decided he's going to play inside a Classroom and go for a pre-placed as well. Not sure if there's a Valk cam in there, if he's just going off sound. But either way, there's now a C4 placed somewhere on the floor of Master Bedroom, and whether the attackers know it or not, they have to be careful for where they're standing, or they could find themselves blown up promptly. By the way, X24 will walk in none the wiser, and so will everyone. Whoa! And it's 2 kills from Mohes. Both JJ and Spiker coalesce on that exact spot right at the right time, and Mohes has lost 50 HP, but he's gained 2 kills, the Maverick and the Yana. Now it's a 3v4 in the favor of Synthetic. If you needed a play to regain a position in the round, that was it. Compounded by Rice, who finds Axe, one of the stronger guns, who's been quiet so far in this match, or at least quieter than Spiker, who's also dead. So you're left with X24 and Indy, both of which have also been some of the quieter members on the side of Project Neo, with not a lot of map control. You have 2 Selma charges, so you can open up some necessary angles there. A hard breach charge as well, but only 54 seconds and not a lot of intel, or at least possibility for it. Rice will go for the flank, spotted by X and put on the floor. He won't finish off the kill, probably smart just in case there's one baiting out his teammate, and he's all alone on the bottom of Armory stairs. You have bigger things to focus on. Mainly, the 3 remaining defenders still on the site. The first smoke grenade will go out, at least in these final 30 seconds. It'll cut off Armory. Indy finishes off Poison. He finds the head, takes him off the board. And now it's an effective 2v2. Make that a 1v2 since Mohes has got his 3rd, and it's on to X24. And Indy's not long for this world either. It's a 7-5 for Synthetic. Looked like Neo might have regained just a glimmer of hope in those final seconds, but it's shut down by Mohes and Freak, respectively.
Great 3K there from Freak. That C4, or sorry, from Mohes. That C4 really winning them out that round. I mean, cutting down not only JJ, but Spiker as well. One of the hard breachers, denying X24 of the game's wall because of the mute jammer that was placed there. They couldn't clear it because they were afraid someone was still downstairs. They couldn't go downstairs and clear, especially because Axe was still all the way over by tower and lost his fight to Rice just to add insult to injury. So really well played by Mohes and Synthetic around that. As a whole, it's a 7-5 victory on their map pick. And that's important to remember. This is Synthetic's map pick. We expect them to win this, and the fact that Neo brought it so close is something to give to them. But Synthetic will peel away with 3 points. PDHM now fall to the 4th place spot. Neo will stay in 5th. In order for Neo to qualify for the playoffs now, Synthetic have locked in their spot. Neo have to win this next map, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, going on to Villa, whether or not they do land in the quals or not, again, that was Synthetic's map pick. You expect Neo to at least win this one, and you expect most series to end 1-1. Obviously, that's not how it ends up happening, but given this is Neo's map pick, and as we mentioned earlier, Synthetic's history, there have been a few questionable examples of them on Villa. That 7-0 coming to mind. Being a question mark going into this, are Synthetic much more practiced on Villa than either we're giving them credit for, or they've cooked up some strats and scrims and they're much stronger than they were previously? Or is this a calculation by Neo, who are a smart team, and they know that this is going to be a weak map for Synthetic that they can try and eke out a victory on? Because if they do still have a chance to make it to playoffs, they have to make it here. There's not a game after this that they can, try again. This is the final map to decide whether or not we see Project Neo in playoffs. We'll just have to see. Probably going to send it to a quick break. I don't know why I said probably. We're going to send it to a quick break. Just a couple minutes. Then we'll be back with Project Neo versus... Oh, wait, no. We have stats. I completely forgot. I'm completely sorry.
You forgot about post-map
I forgot about the stats. Dude, I'm still angry about that parking ticket. My mind is fried.
Wow. I can't believe it. But whenever we have stats, Ferme will throw it on screen. But the thing I'm really curious about is whether or not Neo have the tiebreaker over PDHM. I don't remember.
That is the question.
Because if Neo have the tiebreaker over PDHM, which they might, they can still lose the second map. They just have to lose in OT, because then they'd be tied for points with PDHM, and then if Neo have the head-to-head, they take that 4th place spot. But here are the stats. Mohes, a name that we said a multitude of times in that game, 16-7. A brilliant performance from him, 75% cost, and right behind him is Rice with a 1.49, 13-6 with an 83% cost. So still Rice has been an extremely consistent top performer for Synthetic, almost to the point where it seems like if Rice isn't performing, Synthetic struggle incredibly. Meanwhile, on Neo, we see something that we're not necessarily used to, and that's Spiker leading the pack, 15-10. Again, they may not have won the map, but Spiker won a free can of G Fuel, courtesy of his team.
I was about to say, I'm glad I didn't almost accidentally send it to a break, because these stats, I feel, illustrate a lot of the reason why Neo struggled so much. Remember, this is a 7-5. Despite the fact that Spiker was the only one with a 1+ rating, it still came incredibly close to going overtime on Synthetic's map pick. Obviously, Synthetic led in the stats department, 3 members over 1+. We even had Rice with an 83% cost, just compounding on why he's such a powerful player for Synthetic. And Spiker was truly one of the only ones that showed up. But even with those low stats, it's impressive that they managed to nail it to a 7-5. Now the question is whether or not they can pick up the pieces on Villa, or if it's just going to be a Spiker night, but with not many people on Project Neo showing up. And if that's the case, you might manage to see Synthetic eke it out on Neo's map pick.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to be able to see some more firepower from Neo on Villa. But until then, we are going to take a very short break. Get the players, give them a little rest. I ran out of water, so I've got to get more. So thank God we're taking a break. We will see you in just a few minutes for map number 2, the final map of the night. Villa, right after this.
Welcome back, everybody. My VMix is muted just for a sec because I just got back from the bathroom. So, welcome back,
Nice.
everybody, to SCS. Hey, we mess up every now and then. We still have
Oh,
one
yeah.
more map for you. If you just so happen to miss it, we got done with Oregon in Project Neo versus Synthetic, and it was a 7-5 in the favor of Synthetic, and it was their map pick. So now, moving on to Neos to see what'll happen. And, hey, Harrison, I said this would be a tie.
Yes.
You said this would be a Neo 2-0. You're not looking great so far.
I'm
in your
already
prediction.
wrong.
You're already wrong.
I blow.
No, you don't. We're all wrong every now and then. You and I both, I think, don't we have the same percentage for predictions? We're
I
both
don't
like
know.
27 or something.
If Neo wins this map, though, you'll be higher.
That is true. Yeah, we are. We're both 27. I
But you'll
can't
probably,
believe I remember that.
You'll probably pull ahead. But hey, at least I'm not Sticula or McCready
I was about to say, or
or
McCready
CDAPS.
or CDAPS. How does Keg have 31? How does Jays Wolves have 42?
Jonah's just better,
Jonah's just built different.
and that's why
An astute one, that boy.
that's
Why'd I
why
call
we
him
love
boys
him.
older? I still can't believe Jonah's 21. That blew my mind. I don't know why. I just assumed he was younger than me. But Jonah's older than you.
Yep, by a year.
How does that make you feel?
I'm just always gonna be younger than people.
Thank you for that very enlightened enlightened statement, Harrison.
You're welcome.
But We'll be getting into the game. We're getting all
Villa.
R's in the chat. We don't have to stall for too long. We can get into the ban phase and see what it'll be on Villa. Now, Harrison, I'll pass the bet back on to you.
No, because
Is it
I'm
gonna
going to
be-
eat shrimp.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Harrison ordered 50 things of bacon. Wait, what is it?
Yep.
Bacon.
Bacon wrapped shrimp and crab.
That's what it is.
And they're like,
Hold on,
like
5
this
seconds.
big.
Is Thatcher going to be the first ban?
and I have 50 of these.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I was
What?
right.
Why do I even try? Like, why? What's the point?
Look at that.
I swear, I could
Thatcher
just.
wasn't
I could
the
just.
first ban.
Hey, it's a Nomad a second time in a row, so I don't think. I mean, I would on Villa. I think a Nomad ban makes more sense than it does on Oregon, at least to me personally. Feel free to flame me if I'm wrong, but a Thatcher ban will be second, carrying after Oregon, and at least in the attacker bans.
Except the teams banned opposite. Last time it was.
Oh, that's true.
It was Neo who banned Nomad, and this time it was Synthetic. And no, Neo were the ones to ban Cade last time.
So will it be a Mira?
I
Will
just
it be
noticed
something different?
under Neo's op bans for map number 1, I wrote Oregon instead of Nomad.
That's like when I was writing the sides, I wrote blue for attack. Like I wrote
Ooh.
blue defense. Ooh,
That's cool.
that is cool. That's not
I
something we
like
see
that.
often.
I like the pulse band. That means dining might be a little bit harder to play because you don't get to play with that pulse. You don't get to play with all that C4 from below and call out all that free info for your defenders. Even that trophy room downstairs roam with the C4 is maybe going to be a little bit less effective, but because of the pulse band, we're going to be seeing a Valkyrie every single round.
Yes.
Case in point, round number 1. Rice already on that. We've even got the Echo. Never mind, it's a
This is a
Kafe.
scams flop moment.
That's a Cav.
We have a Cav.
Defenders, protect your
We have a Kavera.
by attackers.
Mohes.
Does he have the shotgun or the
No,
M12?
Cav. It's an excellent question. What do you
Well-
think? M12 or shotgun? All right, he's.
In the basement.
Can we cancel this? Can we cancel this map? Can we just stop? Can we do a redo?
I don't know what he's got.
I don't either. Whatever he has, he's sitting in basement because he's Cav. If you can't tell by our reactions, Cav is not something you see that often because
She sucks.
she kind of sucks. Essentially, if a Cav makes a play, the attacking team has fumbled the bag so relentlessly and obviously that it's painful. Because to counter a Cav, it's a statement so simple. You almost get worried you're wrong. You just kind of gotta drone her, or like drone out the map.
Yeah.
Axe is already on 25 HP because somebody just swung bedroom doorway. Was that a good play?
was freak.
I don't know, but it was freak. Probably you could have predicted that. For who
Yeah.
was responsible for that play?
Yeah, I
It's
think
freaky, man.
a good way to describe Cav is the reason why Cav is not often brought is because she's an operator that relies on your enemy making mistakes. It's not something that relies on your team play or your individual play even. It relies on your opponents messing up tremendously, which is not something that you want to rely on. Now, Freak, the man who earlier just swung the brick door onto the master window and dealt a lot of damage to Axe, well, he'll
Okay.
pay the ultimate price as Spiker cuts him off downstairs by bicycle. There's another one as X24 takes in a 90 and challenges Rice and Books. He wins out that fight. The R4C typically better at longer ranges than the MPX. And now, though Axe is low in HP, that's the only damage done to the entirety of Neo for the price of 2 kills. I'd say that's a pretty worthy trade. I don't know about you, but Indy will get taken down,
Okay.
and Mohes is actually able to get a melee kill, but as X24 moves into the site, he takes out Poison before being refragged by Na. What was a 5v3 is now a 3v2, and the flank is
Okay.
still on for Mohes. He's able to down what little was left of Axe. JJ's looking for this Cav. He's not quite sure where Mohes has gone. Still sticking inside of board. Could potentially pounce on JJ if the ace is not careful enough. He's right on the other side of this wall. And JJ's got no clue.
You're kidding.
Mohes able to down him off and finish for his 3rd kill. And what did I say? It's off your opponent's mistakes. But in the meantime, Spiker's able to get in the site. He's able to take out the single anchor. It's Mohes. The weakness now is that Cav, she doesn't have very competent weaponry, and Mohes right now is only on 1 HP, but look at this rotate. He's back in Aviator. He's behind Spiker, and I'm not quite sure if Spiker knows. He now has regained the case control with Mohes right on the other side of this vault door to Spiker. No, he sprints into it! Mohes with a big 4K on the Cav. We questioned the pick, but Neo screwed up just enough for Mohes to take advantage of it. First round goes in the favor of Synthetic.
So you remember when I touched on it and then Harrison explained it in detail, how Cav is not brought because it's reliant on your opponents making mistakes in how they play, how they drone the map, that sort of thing. So Neo made mistakes in how they play and how they droned and that sort of thing.
Can anyone in chat take a guess as to what the big mistake Neo made was? I'll give you 10 seconds.
We'll give you till the end. Yeah, 10 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you said they had no flank watch established, you would be correct.
Bonus points if you said they had no intel on the Cav. Flank watch obviously being the big thing. They had neither. Now, you might be saying, but they had a Jackal. How do they not scan the footprints? Well, to be fair, Cav's ability...
Guess what?
Cav's ability...
She doesn't leave footprints.
She does not leave footprints. Despite the fact that her feet physically touch the floor, she somehow doesn't have footprints.
It's
I don't know.
because she steps so light that the dust and dirt doesn't come off the soles of her shoes when she steps.
I'm sorry. I still don't think that's how that works. I might be wrong, but that's a topic for another time. But... As I'm sure all of you said, because you're all very smart people, except you, Crafty, you all should have gotten that. I'm just kidding. I love you, Crafty. But you all should have gotten that. Fairly obvious. But, as sometimes happens, Mohes sat in basement, and Neo, I imagine, said something like this. Hey, did you drone out basement? Yeah. And the guy probably did drone out basement, but didn't expect a Cav to probably be sitting in a corner. And that's what happens sometimes. You don't expect the one to be sitting in your corner or sitting prone down in basement, just sitting, waiting to go for a flank from halfway across the map at a minute 30, but that's what happens. Second round in a row, Freak's gotten an opening C4 pick on X24, who previously was successful on the entry with 2 kills of his own. Now he's dead, and Freak has now found a second.
He rips Spiker off the rappel. Clay Pigeon there. Freak now with 2 in the round. Great entry. Or great opening for Synthetic, as whatever the hell I said there was simply just not a word. Indy's searching for this trade. They've got the pings on Freak, but he's hiding right behind the bar. Eventually, he'll peek his head up, and Indy shuts him down. So at least they're able to bring one back, but at the cost of X24 and Spiker. Your duo entry, your Ash and your Zoph, and in fact, the only people that actually got kills last round. So you're not looking too hot if you're Neo. Your entry game already caught off, and you've already wasted a minute 20, and now you've lost the 3rd man to find a kill. Indy off the board, JJ remains out of donut. It's Acts inside of bathroom in a 1 versus 4. Things aren't looking good for Neo.
Yeah, so whatever that was, it did not work. Now Acts is doing what I call trying to find one exit frag. Won't find one. He'll do about 75 damage to poison, put down 25, and just manages to find the head of Nah. Bit of a hip fire there, a bit of a lucky headshot, but still a kill for him. Or at least go even, and even he will go into the grave. Synthetic get their 2nd round in a row, and what was previously Mohes doing his best to swing the round back in Synthetic's favor, in the 2nd round, was Synthetic having the round in their hands from the very beginning.
Yeah, Freak opened that up.
Pretty nicely.
And then Indy died. And then
Freak
JJ died.
Then JJ died.
And then the round was over.
Yeah.
That round, Neo were just... They got stumped as soon as they tried to enter the building. Not great. Now we move on to dining. This is the site that pulse ban is specifically catered to. Normally, you bring 3, maybe 4 C4s. You have a pulse play downstairs, and once those attackers start to move in for their master take, you blow them up. Now, though, you don't have that pulse scanner at your disposal. You'll have to rely on the Valkyrie cameras that Na is bringing, that he's been bringing pretty consistently, and we'll likely see throughout the entire match. But that's going to be your only source of info, and he's already put 2 on the top floor. I don't even know if he's... Wow, okay. Never mind. We are not going to have any Valkyrie cameras upstairs despite having 4 C4s. So how Synthetic are going to gather their intel in order to capitalize on it with said explosives, I've got no clue.
I mean, they'll just have to focus more on...
Maybe they're like, yo, trust. I'll get a drone.
I mean, what I was thinking is maybe they're just focusing more on wasting time. So, I mean, this is obviously incumbent on either Mo, Poison, or both getting out alive and being able to use their C4 as a top. Or I guess whoever is roaming upstairs with the C4 could be 1 guy, could be 2 guys. Whatever those 1 or 2 guys are, it's incumbent on at least one of them rotating back down so they have the majority of their C4 still up. So it's a bit risky. You're lacking intel, and you're putting a lot more faith on the roamers, and is it... Okay, no, I was about to say, is it literally just Rice prone inside a bathroom? But it's also Freak, who's now dead. So that trust you placed in the roam, not working out so far. Freak's been the opening pick, thanks to a long angle being held by Spiker. Probably unanticipated from the Vigil, so I won't blame him too much for losing that gunfight. But it does still mean that Poison and Rice are left alone up top. Poison, who managed to rotate up, and will have to rotate back down now that Axe is sending some tracers down his way. But Rice has so far been on red, I think, sitting inside the bathtub. I might be wrong, because I've talked about his position about 3 times now, but he's... Okay, now he's rotated back down now. Was upstairs, now he's not. Top floor, in the hands of the attack.
Well, they got a kill. They got Freak. Freak has now been involved in all 3 opening engagements in all 3 rounds. He's currently 1 and 2 on him. And you take out Mohesi, but he... What?
I don't know.
All right, so Siege
know
broke and did that thing where you can still trigger the C4 after you're dead. Rice is taken off the board from Axe, though, and it's still a 3 versus 2. Neo in the advantage, but upstairs, Poison's trying to bring things back, and he's able to escape! He vaults down the railing, right under the crosshairs of Axe, back into carpet, and back into the site. Now, luckily for Neo, they've still got plenty of time. They've still got a minute to play with. They've still got nades, and Na and Poison no longer have C4s. They can tread upstairs a little more safely. JJ decides to knife at the doorway. Here's the rush in, but he can't collect on Na. Na is going to prone, though, with the deagle and decide that to just give up his life. And what the fuck?
I'm done.
I don't know what that
retiring.
round was.
I'm leaving the VMix from it. Get another one. I'm done.
I don't know what that round was. I'm not gonna cap.
Can we actually end the game after that one? Can we actually end the stream? Like, I know we did it at the beginning, like we joked about, like, haha, game for Neo, bye. Can we, like, I actually want to end it after that one. Like, that was stupid. That was pretty dumb.
Okay, so...
I don't... Honestly, fuck it. Bye.
A triple kill, but Son of Finn, he'll deny the plant. He sees 2 more kills. Oh my god! Son of Finn will find more!
7 seconds left. They gotta pick.
I can't believe we used that bit twice in the same stream. I'm honestly amazed we managed to find more than one use of that joke.
Yeah. So, you know what? Carter, should I go in and delve into the intricacies of that round?
I mean, that'd be like delving into why, you know, a toddler does the things they do, but sure. Go for it.
Well, toddlers do the things they do because they're stupid.
Delve into the intricacies of that.
Similarly to how that round played out. So, Freak was just being Freak and then died, right?
Okay, I know, like, everyone loves to clown Freak justifiably for getting, you know, being too aggressive and getting picked. That one, like, sure, the angle was known, but that's also, like, a 30 to 40 meter gunfight. Like, that was kind of a rough spot.
So Freak just kind of got smoked. And then X24 killed Mohesi
But then,
But then the game was like, hey,
to quote,
what if the C4 goes off anyway?
to quote a hero of mine, Gasher R6 on this map of Villa.
Keegan Gasher last name.
Keegan Gasher last name. Sometimes the game says no. In that case, the game actually said yes.
It said yes to Mohesi. And then Poison is somehow... So then there's more trades. We're in a 3v2. Poison is somehow able to get through Boar into Trophy, kill a guy, and vault down to Carpet. Now you got Act upstairs and JJ pushing Laundry. Now, for some reason, Na decides to keep quick peeking the same angle over and over again. Takes a
Then he
beating,
dropped his Big Mac on the floor.
and then prones with the Deagle. And it didn't work, and then Poison was like, haha, hee, refrag, and then got killed from above. That round was really stupid, and I hope nothing like that happens ever again. But yet again, it seems like Project Neo do not have adequately placed drones for the flank, and Mohesi will get a very easy opening pick onto Act. So dead is your buck, but at least it's a trade. You know, Mohes gets taken out on the Valkyrie, so no more C4 at the very least. But I mean, you know, there's still 3 left. And Freak is going to take his place downstairs. And even though X24 expected it, his head will still get taken off. Indy not there for the trade, even though he's very close by in the art studio. He'll watch Carpet Hole instead, waiting for Freak to try and go through Living, but Freak is on the main stairs. He's going to try and flank up, but Spiker's holding his angle. We're back to a 3v3, an even contest between these two teams, and still a minute to play with for Neo. So honestly, considering everything, it's not going too poorly for the attack so far. The defenders, though, like I said, they've still got 3 C4s to play with. So if Neo aren't able to adequately clear them out, or, you know, take them out before they're able to use it, they could be in for a pretty rude awakening. Great swing by Rice, taking the head off of Spiker on main stairs. JJ decides he's going to rotate downstairs for whatever reason, while Indy continues to hold these holes from Study with the G8 in hand. JJ will, yet again, try and walk up the main stairs as, you know, like 4 other people, or 3 other people on his team all tried to do and died.
He's got this one.
He's going to take a ton of damage from behind the bar, and Rice will yet again swing books and claim another headshot, leaving it all up to Indy with the G8. He'll pick up the case. He's getting swung from 90, I believe, and there's even a guy in Study. Synthetic with round number 4, as literally everybody on the attack dies by the main stairs.
This has really been a sharp decline in the caliber of gameplay.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that. I mean, so Mohes, perfectly reasonable, inside a library. Very standard position to play on the Realm. You know, not at all crazy. Especially with the Valkyrie, the C4, totally fine with you being there. But then Neo, who apparently have developed this tactic on Villa of not droning or holding the requisite angles, just didn't watch library. 3 people at minimum on that side of the map. 2 of them on main stairs, 1 inside an art studio. None of them watching library. So Mohes manages to go out, finds the hard breacher. The hard breacher. That was the hard breacher, right, Harrison?
Who?
Mohes, he killed the hard breacher, right? I know the answer. I'm just asking you to, like, compound my point.
No, he killed... Wait, for the first kill?
The first kill. Didn't he kill
That
Ace?
was Buck.
Oh, wait, that was Buck. Sorry. Oh, no. You know what it was? I saw the red, and I immediately thought Ace for some reason. Killed the Buck, so that is my bad. Still killed the Buck, got refragged. Okay, cool. Thank you to Spiker for the recovery. Then at that point, Neo just pushed up main stairs and then lost every single one of their gunfights. So Villa being or at least this Villa being a gunfight heavy map. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, like, it's just either Neo push in and win their gunfights, or they push in and lose. It's pretty much how it's been past few rounds.
I knew this game was going to be ranked. I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Yeah. I mean, like, at least on Oregon, there was, like, a veneer of professionalism.
Veneer? Like, I know that guy.
Why?
Is his name, like, Justin or something?
I don't know. I thought it was Vanier. Or is it Veneer?
V-A-N-I-R.
Because Vanier, the same spelling, is our a classification of gods in Norse mythology, but
Yeah.
veneer is a word. I don't know if it's spelled. Is it spelled? I don't think it's spelled the same. That's like
I doubt it. I've always said his name is Veneer. So I
yeah,
don't know.
veneer is the one I was using was Veneer.
Yeah, I know.
I was just explaining for everyone that didn't know. Okay,
Okay.
I'm not just talking to you. God, this guy. Why?
Listen.
Why?
You can't do that in real life, so he's got to do it in game.
What, you get your
Alright.
McDonald's and you're sitting prone eating at the... I can't, man. He's sitting prone in basement with a minute 30 left.
Time will tell if he's able to kill a guy. Oh, no, Logan! What?
Alright.
What? All right. X24
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
just looked away at the wrong time, and both he and
Nightmare.
Mohes whiffed literally all of their shots.
Oh.
So, Na is still in the basement. I believe Mohesi has now also rotated down to the basement and will probably come up somewhere else. Axe is in the walk-in closet, and Freak is just fighting it. We're under a minute, and Neo, well, they really haven't done much. All they've
Killed
done
Spiker.
is lose a man. At least they're able to get a trade. Spiker takes out Na, the guy who got the opening pick, but you lose your Zoph for a C4 below. You still don't have the main breach open, but Moheska's taken out by Indy. Two of your attackers, though, are very low HP. Axe will attempt to try and push through Astro, but the Rice
Alright,
just
man.
swings it with the shotgun, and down he goes. Poison gets another one. The Hibana comes in, gets one refrag, but he's lit up on his retreat back. It's him and Indy alone against Poison and Freak. Indy coming up will lose his fight. Poison goes down. JJ needs to go huge, but he peeks while reloading, and Freak takes advantage of it, pushes up into Astro, and cleans up the round. Synthetic take round number 5. And hopefully, we're one step closer to ending this game. Thank you, Freak GN. Quote, balls.
I think God is punishing me for something. I don't know
Do you
what
think
it is
Freak
yet.
likes him just as much as Parth does?
I don't know. For reference, Parth has a Uplay username called Parth Likes Balls.
He also has Parth Super Gay.
That is true.
That's dude, still one of my favorite things to come out from this year was the fact that Kix went to go cast like an R6 TM and had to say Parth likes balls.
He did.
That was brilliant.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Harrison, I'm kind of sad.
Yeah, I am too. But we have a minimum of 3 more rounds.
3 more rounds until the pain ends.
3 more rounds until I don't cast for the rest of this week, until maybe Saturday.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Unless he got fired.
Wouldn't that be wacky?
Whoa!
I got fired for
I got fired.
being...
I got
I don't know.
fired. I got fired from NACL.
Hashtag stop Asian hate.
It's an NAL song, or not that's an
Reinstate
SNL
me.
song.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler sang a song about how he got fired from SNL. And the
I
song
see.
is called I Got Fired from SNL.
I love songs with literal song titles. They're fun.
I do too.
Like, there's, Please don't tell my father that I used his 1996 Honda Accord to destroy the town of Willow Grove, Pennsylvania in 2002. Great song.
That's a great song
And
title.
exactly what the song is about. There's also, on the same album, there's, wait, is he...
All right.
What? He shot it!
All right.
On the same album, there's also, a detailed and poetic physical threat to the person who intentionally vandalized my 1994 Dodge Intrepid behind Kate's apartment. Another great song. Alright, that's a
there's
cheeky
a-
little Valcam. Do you think Freak is rotating downstairs for the C4? He is, but he just decided not to wait for a call from his team. Because when people get yellow pinged, fun fact, they have legs. And they can move.
It's fine. He'll
and
shoot
Indy
him.
moved. And then Indy just decided not to shoot back there. So Freak knows he's behind the corner. Indy knows where Freak is. And Freak still wins the fight because Indy was too low on HP to do anything about it. And Nah is Doc. So the damage has now been negated.
Freak finds a second. That's Axe taken down. He'll even retake upstairs, try and go for a third, feeling the confidence and something to prove against the team he just called balls around prior. Figured he can ego peek them just a bit more, and hey, if X24 is giving them all free like that, I see no reason why you shouldn't go retake trophy and statuary. JJ gets one. That's the first for his team. Now on the dot goes down. There's not a lot of map control, but just a little bit more in the man count for them. Right as they gain it, they lose it, and they almost lose it again. Spikers on 25 almost lost the round, but he managed to find Freak, the man who got a triple so far. He's got 50 seconds left and 2 concussions, or 1 concussion and 2 impacts. Could make use of them, but Mohes is just around the corner, and it looks like Spiker doesn't have the intel on the Aruni's position. He's looking downstairs through the floor, and he spots the back of the head. Easy shot and easy kill from Mohes to clean up a fairly dominant round from Synthetic, but a fairly dominant round from Freak GN. Good on him for being Freak GN.
Freakigan.
Freakin.
And Mogan. That almost sounds like Morgan, but with rhoticism. Morgan.
Morgan. So if it's really pronounced, it'd be like Maugan.
True. Weiss.
This is kind of dumb. It's cool that like Luke has rhoticism. Like I had rhoticism when I was younger, so it's cool.
Oh,
seeing
Luke.SSG?
someone that, like, yeah. Like
It's
just
also
cool seeing
really
someone.
cruel that the word lisp has an S and the word rhoticism has an R.
Dude, we've literally talked about this on a cast before. How cruel that word is.
I have
Hey, you know what I learned?
I have
You know what?
rhoticism.
You know what I learned?
Rhoticism.
Antero had rhoticism when he was younger.
Really? I never had
Yeah.
a speech impediment.
Somebody made a Reddit post about like, hey, Luke's accent's kind of weird, and somebody like, that's not an accent, that's rhoticism. Then Parker was like, hey, I had rhoticism, and then Reddit was like, okay, I can't spell that, but it was a cool conversation.
Yeah, I never really understood, like... Well, I mean, obviously I do now. When I was younger, I'd always be like, why don't you just talk normal? Are you stupid? And I would get yelled at by my teachers for telling people that.
I don't really know how it works. Like,
It's just the way you grow up speaking. It's just like it's muscle memory, and you just have to like untrain yourself to do that.
So that's what I was gonna ask. Is it? Because, okay, hold on. Let me start that sentence over. All speaking is, you're hearing other people speak, and then you're interpreting that and trying to mimic the sound, or like in a way mimic the sounds, right? Like you don't have this innate knowledge of speaking. You're taking what you see from other people and trying to replicate it, right? Am I wrong in that?
No.
Okay. So you're trying to replicate that, but my mother does not have rhoticism, and my dad does not have rhoticism. There are just 2 people dead and 3 people dead in the first 35 seconds, okay? X24 is as stunned as I am. The Yana and the Ace, the only hard breacher, or the latter of which, the only hard breacher on the side of Synthetic, is now taken off the board. So they've got a 5-1 lead. Now, in the man count, even to a 3v3, but X24 does away with that the moment I speak about it. I have no idea what the hell is happening, but the only 2 people left are a Zofia and a Twitch, and the Zofia happens to be the top fragger in the lobby for Synthetic, and they're knocking on the door to the bomb site despite their deficit in man count. Spiker's holding an angle into... All right, well, never mind. He's not anymore. Head taken clean off. It's an even man count. Mo punishes Spiker's aggressive play, and now, surprisingly, JJ and X24 have to pick up the pieces. I was about to say JJ's got 3 smokes, but they're all on the floor, and it's X24 with the MX4 Storm to get no more kills for the round. I'm just happy we're on match point, and this game is almost over.
Yeah, that was another
I don't know what the hell happened there.
Neo started off really aggressive and got 2 opening picks, and then decided that all their anchors were going to die without fighting back.
I just, like, I can't even explain to you what just happened there. Just everyone died. Just everyone died.
One more round.
Just one more round.
One more.
Is this better or worse than that Toyota Inc. game? I still think that was worse.
Both sucked in their own ways, because at least this is quick.
Yeah,
Like, at
the
least
other
rounds are over.
The other one was
quickly.
slow.
The other one was slow and boring. Shout out to Wi-Fi in chat. Your game sucked.
Yeah, that game was
No,
bad
I say.
Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. But so yeah, we're like the Toyota Inc. game. That was boring, but like it was just like a lot of. It was like default. It was like ranked defaults. Like they were running defaults, but still kind of playing a bit like ranked. But there was still like strategy. It was just basic boring strategy. But this is just like full on ranked. So at least it's quick and like dynamic. But like on the other hand, it's still not fun. What was I even talking about with rhoticism?
Oh, you're talking about how.
Oh, yeah.
Like
So
because speech is learned through like repetition.
yeah, and like hearing from other people. Like my mom, neither my mom nor my dad. Not only do they not have rhoticism, they didn't have it when they were younger. So like, how did I grow up?
You just
And
suck.
mistakenly, I guess, dude. I guess I'm built different in all the wrong ways.
You're built shitty.
I'm just built poorly. God made me, and he sneezed midway through. God
Put,
spent
like,
a... My
Put the
dude,
laziest angel on the case.
I got built by an intern.
Wow.
Uzu called me...
Christopher Uzumaki Valdez just called you a midget.
I was about to say Uzu called me a not politically correct term.
Isn't that, yeah, wait, I was about to say, isn't that politically incorrect now?
Also, I am 5'7", okay? I'm not that short.
Well,
Freak!
no, it's not politically correct.
I was about to say.
That.
All right. Yeah,
Freak
that was
shooting Spiker through the Goyo fire.
that was illegal in some countries. He's dead now.
He will immediately pay the price. Life is indeed sad. There you go, Spiker.
Life's
he
a
may be
puzzle.
young, but he's learning. Shout out to Spiker. Rice gets another one as down goes Axe the Goyo, and JJ decides to swing, but swiftly felled by Mohesi. And now it's over.
Game's over.
Okay. All I have to say about that is...
Just give me a minute. I just need a minute.
Thank God.
I just need a sec.
That, my friends, everyone in Twitch chat, was horrendous. Well, at least Mohesi did well. At least Mohesi was having fun. At least somebody was having. 13 and 3 from him. Lights out performance.
We were also both wrong. I said it was gonna be a tie. You said it was gonna be
That's
Neo.
true.
It was a synthetic 2-0. It's
Very few people on our prediction said that. Don't remember who said that, but whoever did was correct. And now I get to eat more bacon-wrapped shrimp and crab meat.
that was awful.
You know what? We powered through.
We did. We powered through.
That was a bonding experience.
Dude, I gotta admit though, you know like the later RSA casts where like you would just like lose full and start freaking
Yeah,
out.
where it was like 12:30
Yeah,
a.m.
It was like what I imagine happens whenever you're in the army and you're lugging like the big 80-pound packs. That's what it was like casting with you when you retired.
Oh, the ruck packs?
Yeah, like the ruck packs, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I felt like pre-serum Steve Rogers lifting one of those whenever you got tired and didn't want to cast anymore. I felt like if that went on for a few rounds longer, that we could have been reaching that territory. That was a rough one, but it was a quick one for Synthetic, 7-1, and I am intrigued to see what the stats look like on that, because if I'm being honest, I have no idea what the hell they will show, because that game was kind of weird. Not a lot to analyze there. It was mainly just Synthetic on the defense, winning their gunfights, playing in rat positions, and Neo not droning them out or not holding flank, and then it was on their attack, or when they were on their attacks, it was just them pushing in and killing Neo. So, yeah, that's where we are.
Wasn't a ton of droning from both sides either. During
We saw like
entire match.
it's kind of how like
People just kind of walked in.
it's kind of like how Aristotle with like his forms of government, there's like a good form of it and then a bad form of it. That
Yeah.
was like that was the droning like equivalent we saw. If I were to draw an analogy, like we saw the good form, which is sometimes you just don't drone. It's like the Matt Squared philosophy. You don't drone and you catch your teammate or your enemies off guard because they're like, oh, they're going to be droning, and then you just don't drone and you kill all of them. Then we saw the bad side, which is Neo didn't drone, and as a result, you had that first round 4K from Mohes on Cav. You had Nos sitting down prone under a desk in basement getting a C4 kill. A lot of examples of Neo just not droning, and Synthetic exploiting that. So
Yeah, Synthetic just had the
pros and
Synthetic
cons
just
of
kind
not
of
running.
feel like they just kind of chalked the mental.
Yeah.
Played a very Machiavellian game against Neo there, twisting their minds and all that.
So the stats got worse.
Wow. Literally nobody on Neo did well.
Hey, Spiker had a
Shocker.
Spiker and X 62% cost. Okay.
That's not too bad. Mohesi though, a 1.96, 13 and 3, 87% cost. Would you look at that? And wow, not a single person got a plant.
Can
Can you
that's shocking.
believe it?
I am.
Wow.
You should see my face right now. The surprise on my face.
Nah, also doing well. Freak did well. Of course, if you're gonna have anyone on Synthetic remain negative, it's Poison. That's okay. He still got the exact same cost as the highest cost on Neo. You can't blame him for it, especially as the hard support.
Mohes was really a standout player there. That bested too. I think he's definitely
Yeah, he went
my MVP.
a total of 29 and 10. If my notes are correct. 29 and
one
10.
more kill. Would that be a 3-0?
That would be a 3.0. That is how math works, because 30 divided by 10 is 3.
I just gotta ask, just gotta check my work,
But instead, he's a 2.9. Still easy
That's
to do.
okay.
Because it's just 29 divided by 10, which means you just move the decimal over left one. So
10s are easy.
2.9 KD, still really freaking good.
Yeah, I don't think I was
Spiker
gonna
on the
really
other
gonna split
hand,
hairs.
top performer from Neo was Spiker both maps. He went 22 and 18 total. 22 and 18 being a
11/9.
I'm just simply not going to do that in my head. It's like a 1.2 or something.
Well,
But you know what we do have?
I was about to say. We don't have math, but we do have an interview. We have an interview with one member of Synthetic. I don't actually don't know exactly who right now.
I believe I think it's Poison. I think it's Cal.
It is Poison.
Poison? Hi.
Hi. Can you hear us?
Hello? Can you see me?
Yeah.
I can see
Yes.
you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Can you-
Hello? Do you hear me?
We
Can
can
you-
hear you.
Can you
I don't know
hear
what's
us?
going on.
Oh, you can? Is that a yes?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
yes.
Wow, this is great.
All right, we're already.
He might be reconnecting to the VMix call.
Do you ever wonder why we're here? Like,
Just
what's
to
our
suffer?
purpose? Just to suffer. Either way, we'll get that fixed. Talk to Callum Poison last name
Oh.
shortly.
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear me?
Now
Now-
we
Hear you. No, actually, that's a thumbs down. That's a thumbs down. So, okay, hold on. If they taught a gorilla how to speak sign language, I can communicate with him through post-it notes.
I think he already disconnected.
Really? Because I wrote on a post-it note, I wrote game, good or bad.
Oh, wait.
Can you hear us? There's just no way. There's just
Can you hear me?
yes. Can you hear us?
I am. Can you? Yeah, I can hear you. I've been hearing you the whole time.
You
What?
what?
You
can hear us the whole time?
Yeah, I like signaled. I was like, yeah, I don't think you could hear me
Oh.
though, because I had the wrong input on for my mic. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know what the hell just happened, but you're here now, and that's what's important. Poison. This is, I think, actually, wow. I think this is the
Yes.
first time I've gotten to interview you face to face in like over a year of casting you. So that's kind of weird, but I'm glad it's finally happened. Too
Yeah,
bad it
just-
was
just
this
picked
game
up
that it
the face
happened
cam,
in.
like 2 months ago.
Oh, that's cool. Too bad-
Yeah. Did not play through that.
Too bad it happened to be this game, because this game sucked, and I hate you all. But you won 2-0. You secure your playoff spot. Obviously this game was just kind of ranked. I mean, clearly. especially by the way
Yeah,
that
the
you
second
guys
map
were.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, Villa. I don't think anybody used a single drone in the entirety of that map. Oregon was a lot more structured though. So we want to talk about
Yeah.
if we want to talk about Oregon, you guys were still leaning in kind of the old style of Oregon with all the utility stuff. You know, we saw a lot of like Goyo, Wamai, Jaeger, Smoke, all that stuff. I mean, do you guys see that as still a really viable option? Does it just kind of depend on the bands? Is that how you guys in particular still like to play Oregon?
I think Oregon overall, the shields are really good, especially with the Rooney coming into play. We don't really run a lot of her tonight, but like the Rooney Wamai Jaeger combo with like 3 shields with like Smoke and Goya is just kind of like unstoppable on basement. So yeah, I definitely think the util meta is still pretty strong on basement. Even if it's not as much burning, just sticking like 10 shields in their face and not having, even if there's not ADSs on them, like it still slows them down and does a lot. So
Okay. And the other thing too, we noticed that you know, earlier in the game on Oregon you were playing Ace and then you swapped onto Hibana. Now why was that? Because we figured, you know, normally Ace is, you know, the main hard breacher unless you're going for, you know, a 3 hatch drop on the basement. Why'd you swap onto the Hibana?
just more burns was kind of nice. We were running like mad,
Okay.
like they banned the nomads, so we were rocking like Yana, Ash Zof, and Mav. So we had like a ton of nades and stuff. So I just wanted to bring some extra burns to supplement that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fair enough.
And I mean, I just want to ask, you know, going into the playoffs, of course, you know, you've got Mohesi, you've got Freak. They've been a little bit more acclimated into the squad. Is it safe to say we're probably going to see a lot more structured play going into playoffs?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the first map was pretty structured. I don't really think we're that good of an Oregon team, but it wasn't. We weren't expecting to go to Oregon tonight, but once we realized we like clinched the win, we figured it'd be better to or the clinch the playoffs. It'd be better to just like keep everything that we have on Villa, but just like we could just run around. We've
Yeah.
already made it.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, especially, you know, with the Mohesi on Cav, that was
You got
Yeah,
the
that was
four?
a
That
that
play
was a
was,
treat.
alarming, to say the least. But Callum, I'm glad to say that I finally get to talk to you face to face. Congratulations on making playoffs. You guys were able to clinch the spot. You
great.
guys pulled.
Thank you.
I know you guys pulled ahead of PDHM. I don't know if you guys got ahead of Honor or Aggro. Oh,
yeah,
for
the
making pull
standings.
it up. Did you? No, you're still 3 points behind. So you guys play for May. Who do they play? First round. Unless for May doesn't know. All right, for May doesn't know. So the bracket will be settled
We'll
later.
figure
But
that
yeah,
out.
look at that. You guys went 5-5, able to knock Neo out. How does it feel knocking JJ out of playoffs, by the way?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, he's the homie, so like, I don't know, but their team's kind of in a weird situation. I feel like if Adapt and X24 were there, it could have been different. But well, X24 was there, but like he's like half there. Like he's not really on the team anymore. And then they have Indy playing with X too. So
Yeah, X24 was just kind of subbing in because I think Oni had something to take care of. But again, congrats on
Yeah.
playoffs. Glad we finally got to talk to you face to face. We'll be seeing
Thank you.
more of you next week and in the coming games. We can take a whole look at the stats. Mohesi popping the hell off. So I know a lot of people have started to. I know I saw a lot of stuff in Twitch chat with people kind of criticizing Synthetic with you know, if Rice doesn't pop off, you guys don't necessarily do as well. Do you think there's any truth to that?
I mean, sure, like if someone's gonna pop off, of course they're gonna play good. But I think everyone on the team has a really important job. Like I feel like something feel like our team is kind of figuring out is just understanding everyone has a job to do and they just got to complete that job. You don't really have to do anything excess. We have I have 4 really good players carrying me every game, so I just kind of tell them what to do, get some good strats going, call out any adjustments if needed. They shoot people.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about Rice in particular too. I mean, he's typically on roles, you know, like the Maverick, the Mute, you know, Goyo. Sometimes he would even play. I know he used to play a little bit of flank watch too. Do you guys happen to just have him play
Yeah, Rice has
support
been all over the
roles.
place.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys happen to just kind of have him play those pseudo support roles like more aggressively, or is it just like once his job is done, he just happens to find himself in really good spots for those?
Rice has kind of been all over the place with the roles. Originally, when he joined, I think January, I think it was, he was on Flank Watch. Then, shortly after, he went to Ash. Then, when we had Unfair and Wings, he was on Sledge. Then, for a short time during tryouts, he was on Zoth. But then, and we had Freak on Flank Watch, but we ended up switching the two. So now, Mohesi's the Flank Watch, Rice is the Soft Bridge. So he's kind of just all over the place. He like you said, yeah, he just gets his hashes open, gets whatever is needed, and he's really good in the late round. Just like, and he's a good like flex player on defense too. You see him getting a lot of like 3Ks with a mute, just roaming, just eating up.
Yeah, we saw definitely a lot of rounds, especially on Oregon, kind of being brought back by players like him and like Freak and stuff. But I think that's Carter. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, no. Again, I mean, especially map 2, not a whole lot to ask about there. You obviously were trying to hide stuff from playoffs once you managed to clinch that after map 1. So, I mean, anything you want to say, Poison? Anything you want to say before we close it out?
No, thank you for my team. I know I kind of made them, not some of the people do a lot of practice that they didn't really want to do, so kind of excessive. But we had a good prep week for the game, and we got a good win here. So looking to keep it up in playoffs.
All right, well, thank you very much. It's good casting you, and have a good night. All right, I just wave goodbye.
Wow.
Well, that's it. We're done.
That's
all.
it.
No,
We're done.
I can't give it. I can't give it the full 100%.
I'll do it for you.
After that
We're
one,
done. That's the last map.
that's it. We're done.
That sucked. It was painful. Hopefully we
In all
can
fairness,
make it somewhat entertaining.
In all fairness,
All right,
only
what?
map 2 was like truly painful.
That's true. Oregon was kind of cool. the way
Oregon
they were
was
playing
Oregon
it.
was solid.
Well, Hesse and Rice and Spiker having a whole hell of a ton of really good plays. But that's it for what is it? Thursday?
It is Thursday.
Do we have more games tomorrow?
It's only Thursday.
more
Of course, we
tomorrow.
have 2 more games.
What are the
Is
games?
this not SCS, Harrison? Did you forget?
Listen, man. I just don't remember what the games are. There's Aerial Nemesis tomorrow.
That'll
and
be a game.
Smoke Break No Plans.
That'll also be a game.
But Group B is done.
It's set. We have the
It's set.
playoffs.
It is
It is.
Aggro, Honor, Synthetic, PDHM in that order. And then Group A will be all settled tomorrow. Mystic have already secured their spot. I think Aerial
By, like,
Arise
87 billion
have
points.
have also secured their spot. Wait. All 4 teams that play tomorrow are already in playoffs or out. Okay, I lied. Okay, if No Plants gets O2'd by Smoke Break and
then
Nemesis by some grace of God 2-0's Aerial Arise, then they'll take the playoff spot.
That would be crazy, considering that Nemesis have won 1 map in SCS so far. For them to win not only 2 in a row, but 2 in a row against the second best team in Group A.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy. I mean, crazier things have happened, but that's still pretty damn crazy. Either way, gives you all the more reason to tune in tomorrow to see whether or not Nemesis could manage to, well, that is if, of course, Smoke Break 2-0. No
Yeah.
Plants, and then Nemesis 2-0
And-
Aerial Rise.
And you'd get a sneak peek look at Smoke Break and Nemesis, who play in Challenger League
That is true.
on Sunday,
They
not
do
Saturday.
play. They
don't play
in Seattle
Saturday.
on Sunday.
They play Sunday. They're in Group B. Group A is on Saturday. That's when you get like Parabellum Ape and Honor Slaughterhouse, which should be really freaking cool. But it's Thursday. So tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. EST. Well, no, we're in EDT. EDT?
Yes.
3 p.m. Pacific. I don't know if they're PDT or PST or I don't know if they have the same naming
They'd
conventions
be
as EDT.
PDT. Because if
Are
we're
they
EDT,
PDT?
they'd be PDT, wouldn't
Okay, I don't know if they do the same thing. So it's, I don't know, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow for the final games in SCS group stage. We're almost there. We're almost in playoffs. But until then, until tomorrow, thank you for watching. We love you all. Have a good night.
Trying to walk on through. The M762 is going to find 3 kills, pistol in hand. It's going to be a quad in the round for emergency.
Peeking into him. He'll take down Twist. He'll take down Defiance as well. He's going for a third and he'll get it.
Triple kill to answer, and then Limbo and John will pick up some kills, but Braxton with the 4K, he's on for the
Heal
ace.
on Iski! What a flick! But he gets